Joining us now is our Extension Livestock Marketing Specialist, Derrell Peel. And Derrell, let's talk about meat production, starting with beef.
Well, so far this year, beef production has continued to decline after a sharp decline last year. For the year to date, beef production is down about 4.7%. Slaughter is still running down close to 7% for this year, pretty much across the board. Steers, heifers, cows, at least beef cows are down, and total cow slaughter is down as well. So, we're going to end the year down 1.5% to 2% probably on beef production, again, further squeezing those beef supplies.
And what about pork and poultry?
Well, the situation for pork and poultry is very different than beef. We're looking at increased production on both of those. On the poultry side, we've had a lot of concerns about avian influenza, which has not directly impacted broiler production from a meat standpoint, but it has impacted turkey production, and of course it's impacted egg production as well. We're looking at an increase about 6% or so on broiler production for the end of the year. On the pork side, the problem there is really a lack of disease, and of course that's a good thing to not have problems with PED virus, but the pork industry really ramped up breeding last year in anticipation of continued problems with PED. Not having those problems, we're not seeing the mortality. We've got a sharp increase, about a 7% increase in pork production this year.
Now, what's the trade situation looking like for those meats?
The trade situation, of course, is important in terms of what winds up being left for consumers in the domestic market. All of the meats have struggled this year because of the strong dollar. Again, on the beef side, we have record high prices essentially, or very close to it, aggravated by that strong dollar. So beef exports are off, beef imports are up, and because of that, beef consumption in the U.S. will probably be about unchanged, even with the decrease in beef production that we talked about. On the pork side, again, pork exports are down a little bit, although pork has gotten quite a bit cheaper because of the big supply there, and so we've seen exports recently pick up a little bit, but they're still down for the year. On the poultry side, even though avian influenza didn't directly impact the broiler industry in terms of the disease impacts, it did impact the trade situation, and a number of markets have been restricted, and so as a result of that, broiler exports are off as well.
And what factors are we watching as we move into the second half of the year?
Across all the meat industries, there's a number of factors out there that will be very important. In a general sense, this global economic environment and particularly the strength of the dollar will be important, and we'll continue to watch that. From a feed standpoint, we're watching our crops. There's still quite a bit of uncertainty about where we end up with corn and soybean production in particular. We still don't have a handle on planted acreage for soybeans, let alone how many will get harvested when it's all said and done, and the same is true on corn as well in terms of harvested acres. So we'll be watching feed markets. On the beef side, there's a lot of uncertainty about just how fast and how hard we're pushing herd expansion. That will determine supplies, and we're also watching carcass weights in terms of their impact on beef production.
Okay, thanks, Derrell. We'll see you next time.